Welcome to the Whole Bean Podcast. I'm David with Duluth Coffee, and I'm here with my beautiful and brilliant girlfriend, Riley. She is our social media manager, and we just kind of want to talk about how this whole thing started, what we're doing, what her plans are, what our goals are for the year, and just to really start this podcast off, because this is going to be one of our consistent uploads on the YouTube channel. So yeah, do you have anything to say about that? Did I miss anything?
No.
Okay. Just a heads up, when I'm nervous, I'm gonna talk really fast, so I'm gonna be aware of that. And I'm just gonna try not to talk like a robot. Do you want to? So how did you come up with the name? Because Riley did come up with the name for Duluth Coffee.
Yeah, we'd been talking about, starting some sort of coffee bean brewing / roasting company of some sort, and hadn't really landed on a super specific, what it was, but we thought it'd be really helpful to have a name for it. Just get a name behind you. It's this nice little, momentum of, getting everything else rolling. It makes it feel more real and less abstract. And so we were driving down to St. Louis for a weekend, and we were using that 2-hour car drive to try and brainstorm, and just kind of being stuck in a tin can with nothing else to do, of all right, just really get the creative juices flowing. And we came up with a couple good ideas, so good, in fact, that they were already taken and copyrighted. So that kind of, shot that down. Even if it wasn't an issue early on, we didn't want to eventually have to, rebrand or rename ourselves. So had this kind of long and mildly frustrating process of coming up with a really, really awesome idea, and then it being taken, and then kind of wash, rinse, repeat that 6 or 7 times of this is so awesome. And it's oh, never mind, don't get too excited because we can't use it. But I got to a point where I was kind of desperate enough that I was just looking up cool words, or words with cool meanings. And I was just hoping that something would sound cool or spark an idea that I could change some letters around, or would make me think of some other just some other idea, because we really didn't want to pick a noun or something. We didn't want to be green skateboard coffee or whatever.
We wanted something random.
We wanted something a little bit more unique, that when you heard it, that association was truly and only with the brand. And so I ended up finding on this list of words from just different kind of old languages. It was eleutheromania, which is this desire to be free and to travel. And I thought that sounded really cool, but was way too long of a name. But the meaning behind it really aligned with what we discussed as our vision for the brand. So cut down eleutheromania into just taking Duluth, which was luckily not taken. And the meaning behind it, like I said, really kind of encapsulated what we wanted the brand to be. And it was a unique name that wasn't too full of itself, wasn't pretentious. Just nice little easy name. And kind of once we came up with that and it wasn't taken, there's no real second thought about it. That was just the perfect name. It hit all the checked all the boxes.
Yeah, it looked good. It sounded good. And like she said, the coffee game is so saturated. And so every name that we came up with was just there was one that was really cool. It was Rutera, but it was already taken, and it wasn't in the coffee industry, but still we didn't want to have something that was taken no matter what. And Duluth was broken down from a bigger word, and we were trying to do compound words, but it was genius. It made sense. It looks good. The meaning looks good. It's also a species of frog, which is cool. It's the smallest frog in the northern hemisphere. It's a frog from Cuba. It's a little dart frog, but yeah, it's a really cool name. And she came up with it, which honestly, we had this idea of starting this coffee thing, and we we couldn't move forward until we had a name. Like, we had plans, but none of those plans really were solidified until we had something to grow on. And once we had that name, then it became real. So, and it was stressful because we had all these plans and we really wanted to keep going, but it was like a week straight on just brainstorming and like not knowing what to do and what to name it. Yeah. I think one of the names that I came up with was like Escapade Coffee, which was a mouthful.
It looked really cool, like on logos and stuff, mock-ups, but saying it just kind of gets caught in your throat.
Escapade Coffee. Yeah.
It's too much.
It was too much. So we didn't do that, which is okay. But yeah, we have Aloeth Coffee. Right now, we're just in the learning phase. You want to talk about well, before we get ahead of ourselves. So we started this thing. We have a team. It's me and Riley, and then we've got, 4 other people. We have this team. The idea is like, we're going to record and kind of catalog all the like things that we learn through our journey, and then eventually make coffee and roast our own coffee, do small batch home roasted coffee. I was going to ask you, like, do you want to talk about our first pop-up shop that we just recently like signed up for?
Yeah, so we've been eyeballing, Columbia has a really good Earth Day festival that we went to last year, and as we were walking through, we were like, man, this would be so cool to have a booth in Earth Day, but we did not really have anything to sell in a booth, kind of scrounging around for ideas, but was more of a just kind of dream, I guess, than something that was really practically going to happen. And so once we kind of got all of this Aloeth stuff sorted out, it seemed like a no-brainer to take that to Earth Day. It was a really good audience, an audience that we're looking to serve, of a lot of college kids and like community members and just people that are interested in local stuff. And so that's something that we have signed up for, to have a booth at Earth Day, which is, I believe, April 23rd in Columbia. And we'll be like right across the street from Lost Marks, right by campus, and have our booth, and we'll sell coffee. We'll sell some plants and, some other stuff too, to be a little more on brand with Earth Day. But that'll be a really good opportunity for us to get some name recognition out there and be kind of a good little practice trial run with, kind of low stakes, but opportunity to really get some momentum. And if nothing else, it gives us a deadline to work towards, because both of us can have a hard time working towards an abstract deadline. So having that goal to be, kind of have our own legs and be functional in the next couple months is really helpful. And it'll be a good opportunity to get to, show people what we've been working on.
Yeah, for real. Like, and we'll probably record that, and it'll be its own YouTube video of us doing Earth Day, and it'll be fun, like, to have people see our product. And we're not going to be serving, coffee, but we will have whole bean coffee there, and it's going to be exciting because we get to really, get that in front of people. So I'm really excited about that. I'm really excited about getting out there, doing a pop-up shop. It's we went to, oh my gosh, see, I'm nervous, so I'm talking really fast. We went to the farmers market this morning just to see if we have any. I was keeping in mind just to see if we could do a pop-up shop at the farmers market, but there's a whole application like system, so I don't know. But going back to Aloeth Coffee, darn, I should have written down things to talk about. So this is like the third attempt of me recording this first episode. I tried doing it myself, and the first time I talked too fast. I did the whole episode in 11 minutes, which was insane. And then right after that, I slowed down and I did a full episode, but the audio was cutting out because my laptop was trying to update while I was doing that, which was a bummer. So this is the third time, and we have Riley on because I just thought like a lot of the stuff that I was talking about was like Riley centric. So I was like, let's just have her on, then she can talk about it instead of me.
I think one thing that would be cool to talk about is you've mentioned that we have a team going, but talk about, your travels over this summer and some of the team and going outside of the States and stuff like that.
Yeah. So one of our team members is Hayden, and Hayden is
bald.
Is bald. Hayden's bald, but he looks pretty good bald. It suits him. Yeah, it suits him well. And he's going to Ecuador this summer, and he's going to record his adventures. He's going to go look at some property and go to like other South American countries and figure it out and have some fun. He's kind of always been a nomadic guy, so he's excited to go check it out. And when he told me that, I was like, dude, bring a camera or record it with your phone, like vlog it. Doesn't matter. And he was like, well, I don't know how to do that. And I was like, well, just, hey, I'm at this place, look at this thing. Like, that's it, It's not that hard. Or like check out this cup of coffee or this cool cafe or this street vendor. Like, just, or he's going to bring some friends. So like, record you goofing off. Like, let's show him, show some culture. Because that's kind of our brand, Aluth. We want to like bring you along, show you, do taste reviews of like beans from all across the world, show you like local cafes, anywhere that we are. Like, we want to do videos like that. And he says he's going to Ecuador. I kind of convinced him. It didn't take much.
Well, in a lot of countries like that, not only are the beans different, but the entire brewing process is really different. So it'd be really cool to hear and see the way that they make coffee. It's different from not only like state to state in America, but even, different stores in the same city all brew their coffee differently. But it's completely different than what we think of as brewing coffee in a lot of different countries. And so that's one thing that he's been really anticipating seeing, is how they actually brew the coffee, not only how the beans taste differently.
And hopefully he's able to document that and record that, because that'll be really exciting. And I'm envious. It sounds really, really cool. I'm going to Southeast Asia with my family. We're doing a family vacation because my mom's from over there, and it'll be good. We're going to 3 countries. We're going to Thailand, Laos, and Cambodia, and we are going, to do things, and I'm going to record it all too. And one of our big goals, which is really, really ambitious, is to be monetized by the summer, which is a few months, and it's gonna be really hard. Like, we're gonna have to like make some really engaging content if we do that. So right now we're kind of at a standstill because we're all very busy. But getting this podcast started, hopefully we can post once a week and get something going, because that will, we just got to push that momentum. But we, going back to like the traveling. So Hayden's going to Ecuador. I'm going to Southeast Asia. Our goal is, with the funds that we earn from our videos, is that we can fund trips for our team to go elsewhere, to like just to go and experience the culture and bring you guys along with us, because like that's kind of our brand. I want to show you guys like not only our learning process of roasting our own beans and drinking and brewing coffee, but like, going to a place where it's different, going to a place that they, where coffee comes from. So it's really exciting. The thought of like having, some Ecuadorian beans come here and us like figuring out and finding out how it tastes, and then, eventually having Hayden go to Ecuador and taste the coffee there where it came from. So that's really exciting. We do have some Nicaraguan beans. Do you want to tell the story of that?
Sure. We've been looking for some green coffee beans. I'm hesitant to call them green beans like you do.
I like to call them green beans.
Yeah, got some green beans on Facebook Marketplace. No, but we had been looking for a coffee roaster so that we could get green coffee beans and actually control the roasting process ourselves and get some experience and kind of toy around with how the different roast levels affect the taste of it outside of a commercial area, because you can buy light roast, dark roast, all this stuff at like Walmart, Starbucks, anything like that. But you don't know how long that stuff's been sitting on the shelves, like from when it got roasted to when it was in the warehouse to getting shipped, hot, cold, all this stuff, and it can go through all these fluctuations, so it's hard to get a real good grasp on it. And we didn't want to be pushing all these ideas and not really have the functional knowledge behind it, so it was really important that we got some practice actually roasting it ourselves. But I don't know that anybody, any of you have really looked into buying a roaster, but it's expensive, several $100s, which was really hard to kind of put up front before we really had a ball rolling, and it was a little bit daunting. And we were able to find a pretty decent sized automatic coffee roaster on Facebook Marketplace, of all places, that was from a guy, an older guy, who roasts his own coffee, and it was one of those like, I got a better one, I don't need this old one anymore. And so it was still in really good condition, and on talking to him a little bit, he was like, hey, you know what, like, I'll tell you what, if you want to come meet me and get it, because he was about 2 hours away, he said he'd throw in a pound of green coffee beans of any country that we'd like from a list of like 7 or 8. Like, it was a pretty good selection. So not only were we able to get our own coffee roaster, that's automatic, so we don't have to stand there over it and, facilitate it for the whole entire time. We were able to get some green coffee beans from a good source and like a reputable, like good quality beans, And so that's something that we've been really looking forward to, is getting able to actually roast those beans and see how different it is from what you buy at the store, like how different fresh beans taste. If they taste different at all, I mean, we might look at it and go like, yeah, that's cool, but tastes the same. But from what I hear, probably it's not the case. Probably they're going to kind of spoil us and we'll not really like store-bought coffee anymore. But
yeah, that's what I anticipate.
It's really cool, and I think anybody that I've told like, oh yeah, we have green coffee beans to roast ourselves, has been really excited and thinks it's really cool. And it will be, because it's not something that a lot of people get to experience, because even a lot of local cafes don't roast their own, even if they brew them. So having that fresh bean will be really cool.
Yeah, me too. I learned that like apparently coffee goes stale after 30 days, and a lot of the flavors are aromatic, so they just go away when you like grind them. So when you get like Folgers and all that, like all the flavor leaves and you're left with the base bitterness, because the bitters are like the base of the flavors, and then everything's on top. And so when you roast it, like, it's so flavorful that they recommend you have it sit there for 3 days for them to emit all their CO2 and all, and because if you don't, it's like pretty rank. And then when you grind them, all the flavor leaves with the smell, apparently. So we want to test that out, and I have a few videos lined up trying to like experiment of like, figuring out how true this all is, if it's like just a bunch of snobby coffee people who, think too much about it, or if it's true, like a fresh cup of coffee.
Or to what extent, if it's really, it's better but not worth the effort.
Right.
Maybe really is something that's worth splurging on a little bit.
Yeah, well, in my opinion, the most expensive thing is the equipment. And then when you buy the green beans, it's not that expensive. It's not. And then so I think it's the time commitment.
The effort.
Yeah. But once you roast, and if you drink coffee like every day, you roast once a week or whatever, like it's no big deal, and it becomes a hobby. You have your notebook and you roast this like the same way 2 times and you get 2 results, and you figure out how, like, it's there's a lot of factors. I mean, I did so much research, but there's so many factors that go into the taste of like a fresh roasted brewed cup of coffee, like everything down to the elevation that the coffee's grown, the country, the climate, how it's harvested, how it's shipped, how it's stored, how it's roasted, of course, even the water you use to brew the coffee. If it's like really, really crappy, like city water with a lot of chlorine, it's gonna taste like chlorine. Yeah. Or like, if you live in the middle of like a campus somewhere with really old pipes or whatever, instead of using distilled or using spring water or whatever, like it's gonna taste a little different. So or even the guy we got the roaster from, he like was way into coffee, and he was talking about all this stuff, and he said when you heat up your water for your pour overs, don't boil the water, get it to barely under boil, because if you boil it, it changes the water chemistry. And I was like, wow, like maybe I can taste the difference, maybe not. That's the thing Riley was saying, like maybe we can taste the difference, but maybe not. I do believe the bitter part. Like apparently fresh coffee is not supposed to be bitter. I think I've had a fresh cup of coffee before. That one time when I went with Riley, the other Riley. We have another Riley on the team, by the way, so might get confusing. But his last name's Scrivener, so I'll just say Scrivener. But when we went to Scrivener to meet that Daniel guy, so we had this like business meeting with a local roaster, and we went to a cafe, and I think I had a fresh cup of coffee because it tasted like chestnuts. Like
it's not like Starbucks, yeah. Right? It bites. It's nice and refreshing. It was
so smooth, and it was like it tasted like chestnuts. It tasted delicious. I was like really impressed, and so
hazelnut was probably what you're going
or
for.
Hazelnut, not chestnut. Probably hazelnut. Yeah, same thing in my head, I guess. But yeah, we're excited for that. We're excited to get going. The first kind of videos that we're gonna do is with those Nicaraguan beans, and then after that we will, order more beans. And we don't anticipate having many views, but over time when we start getting a catalog,
send us suggestions for what bean. We have nothing in mind.
Yeah, attack us in the comments.
Spam the comments.
Yeah.
Pick a country, but not America.
Yeah.
Pick a different country.
I don't know if we grow any beans here in America.
Nothing worth going for.
Florida beans. Yeah. Texas beans.
Ohio beans.
Give us some Ohio beans. Yeah. Anyways, so if you guys have any questions, I know this seemed pretty formal, but going forward, it's going to be less formal. It's just really new to us.
It's practice.
It's just practice. I feel like, better. Once we loosen up, then it'll be like, hey guys, welcome back to the podcast, chilling out. I'm fidgeting and everything. I've been
playing with the couch like right behind my ear for the past 10 minutes and just...
I'm sorry. But yeah, we'll calm down. I feel pretty rigid.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's okay.
It'll get less awkward as we get situated.
Yeah, it'll become
just got to get the first one out of the way.
Yeah, exactly. So that's, a little back story on Aleut Coffee, kind of our goals and what we're doing and the meaning behind our name, and 2 of us, which is 2 of 6 of our team right now. Do you want to talk about our team, or do you want?
I think we should let the team. Well, I'll introduce them by name, but I won't say too much. I'll let them, introduce themselves as they rotate through the podcast.
You'll learn about them when they,
so obviously David and I, and then we have Riley Scrivener, who's kind of repping the barista side of things for us, networking a little bit in Rolla.
He's also producing music too, like lo-fi hip-hop. He's a music guy.
Yep, and then Hayden is also part of our team. He's going to be traveling. Really good networking guy, knows a lot of people, real friendly. Really, really good at kind of throwing himself into passion projects. So I'm really looking forward to him being part of the team. I know he'll be really helpful and will help keep us on track when we get distracted, inevitably.
And the good thing about a team is like when either of us go dormant, the rest of the team can keep chugging along. And he also has access to marketing stuff, like has like access to a print shop through his family, which is awesome. He's really hyped about that. And anyways, I'm just adding on. That's it.
You can introduce the rest of the team.
Okay. So what we'd had Riley and Hayden.
Yep.
We have Draken, who lives in another town. He's our St. Louis representative. He's kind of he's super busy, but he really loves the idea and the like mission behind what we're doing, and he wants to kind of just be there for anything that we need. I'm probably going to ask him to find cafes for us to go tour and for us to go record videos for. So we got Draken, and then we have Seth, who is also, I mean, everyone on our team is awesome at networking, awesome, like charismatic people who like to talk about it and all this stuff. But Seth is our kind of our travel aid. He's able to give us what?
I don't know if you should say that.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe not.
You want to bleep that out?
Maybe.
He's able to give us.
I don't want to get him in trouble.
He's able to give us discounts for traveling, for stays and stuff. So.
We should have talked about this first.
Sorry.
He's gonna get us in free places.
No, not free.
It's not.
It's a discount.
Not. I'm just.
Well, he offered.
Without the context, it seems a little skeevy.
Yeah. No.
But it's not. But yeah, he'll be a good.
He's a good resource.
Mascot, if you will.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, he'll be good. Networking guys, real charismatic, hard to miss.
Good personality.
Big guy.
Do you see him lately? He's got a big beard. He pointed and waved at me. I didn't even recognize him. I was like, "Who are you?" And then I realized
one time with his girlfriend and is now.
Yeah, it's weird. Anyways, yeah. So, he's gonna be a great personality moving forward. So that's it.
Yeah, we've got some other people pitching in here and there, but that's kind of the core team right now.
Yeah. We want to keep that, or at least I want to keep that, the whole team. Like, we're good. And some of us are like more involved than others, but that's okay. Because we could just, if I want Seth to do something, he will. So it's like, whatever. Or if I want Hayden to do something, or Scrivener, or Draken, or whoever. But right now we're just focused on the media side of things and the marketing and content creation, because that's really all we can do right now, which is still exciting. Like, we'll learn, we'll figure it out. Well, you guys are going to come along and figure it out with us, and we'll teach you. Like, it's not like, it'll be hard, but you guys can do it too. Like, it's not going to be that, it's going to be fun. And hopefully we inspire you to roast your own coffee and to figure it out and brew your perfect cup of coffee.
Or try our coffee.
Yeah. So anyways, you have anything else to say?
Nope. Just keep a lookout. Well, I said nope and then started talking. So yes, I guess. Nothing really that important. Just keep an eye out for, media stuff coming out soon. Got at Aluth Coffee on Instagram. Got the Whole Bean podcast on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube.
Yeah,
all those things.
You keep lucky dogs on the audio only interfaces platform. You don't have to see the awkward video. We'll figure out.
Us staring at the camera.
Yeah, we'll figure this out. Eventually, we're just sitting on a couch in our studio, which is my garage, which will slowly turn into more of a studio. Yeah,
we'll get a little better.
Get better lighting and
atmosphere for the next one.
Yeah, my car is right behind the camera. So, but anyways, you can find us on Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, other platforms. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe and like that video. Help us move through the algorithm, please. put in a comment. You can insult me in the comment section.
Make fun of us in the comments.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
We
Critique
earned
us. You don't even have to give constructive criticism. You can just give criticism. That's okay. We'll take it. Yeah. And we'll throw it right back at you, but we won't tell you when. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it, right?
That's the whole bean.
Okay. All right. Thanks for listening to the Whole Bean Podcast. We'll see you next time.